There is generally been an impression that in private schools, the students perform better and the conditions of service for the teachers are better than those who are working in the public schools. But from my research, it's a misconception because it's turning out that most government employees or teachers, conditions of service are better than those in private schools. I must emphasize here that the focus of my study was on private schools which are called low cost and medium cost schools. What is clear is that the conditions of service in the private schools vary from one school to another. They do not have uniform conditions of service, and most of the teachers in these schools are not unionized. Their salaries are determined by the employer. The employer, maybe annually or whenever they think about it, that's when they do an adjustment or review the salaries of the workers. There is that misconception that private schools are better than public schools. But like I indicated, we must categorize these private schools. They are in three categories. They are the high cost schools. Yes, those, my assumption is that those, they teach better, they have better conditions of service. But there is these two classes which my research focused on, the low cost and medium cost. Yeah, the salaries are not good and most of the teachers are not well qualified, and they have a diversity of qualifications. You know, in our country, it's difficult now to employ teachers because the budget is very low. But teachers have been graduating from the universities, from the colleges, so the only place where they can find temporary employment is in private schools. So they can be paid anything because the government can't offer them jobs. The general impression which is given, they'll say that the learners in private schools are doing better than the learners in public schools. But I think it's a misconception which we must demystify, because the learning conditions in most of these private schools, as I indicated in my research, most of them are even operating illegally. They are not registered with the government, so they cannot offer the best education. So they can't compare them to organized teaching in public schools. So for now, I think the public schools are offering better education than most of the low and medium cost private schools.